Let me just start by saying thank you guys so much for all the love that you guys gave in that last video. Hopefully we can keep that up as we continue here and going on. Disclaimer from last video. I wanted to make sure that you guys know that it's not about making money.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money.
It's always about changing lives, affecting change, and building a brand. Okay, and ultimately the goal is to help people and show you guys how to do the exact same thing so you guys can help people around you. Building money and becoming a millionaire is just a side effect of doing all that. So as long as we got that straight and that forward, then let's dive in. Let's get started.
I gotta get it until I'm got hundreds and fifties stuffed in the belly. I gotta get it until my percentage is making what Riri is making at Finney. I need my 10s and 20s and plenty of knots and quap until it is busting up.
All right, so daily routine, I think, is going to be the really key factor that's going to help me structure the rest of my day to increase money. And I think that's something that you guys can benefit to as well, because if you don't have a set plan and a kind of guidance for how your day looks, then you lose a lot of time. And whether that's on social media, whether that's on talking to your friends, or whether that's on just shifting through emails. If you don't have a structure or something that you're reaching towards, then everything is out of whack. And so that's what we're going to be kind of talking about today. Now, I looked at a lot of millionaires, a lot of successful people to kind of look at their plan, from Michael B. Jordan, Terry Crews, Mark Cuban, and I looked at kind of see what these guys were doing on a regular basis and how we can kind of structure something like that as well. What I've noticed is that there's two types of structuring, right? There's two types of routines. There's one routine where it's you know what you're going to do, but it's kind of like you let it just flow as the day goes on, and you can kind of just structure it as whatever happens. But there's still a structure and a plan to that. Then the second one is very structured and very strict. That means that you are penciling your day at every moment and all times throughout the day. What I've realized that I want to kind of shift towards is the second one, which is kind of penciling and make sure everything fits in your day. Because I'm doing it on a tight, kind of limited schedule, and I want to do it as fast as possible, I want to make sure that every minute I'm impacting it with something that's going to push me closer towards my goals of building a brand and becoming a millionaire. So I've set aside how it's gonna look for you guys, so that way you guys can kind of follow me along, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now depending on the day, I'm typically going to work somewhere between 6 a.m. and 7:30. So somewhere in between that window is usually the time that I have to get up and get ready for work, or actually be at work. So my attempt is to start waking up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. on the dot, okay? Structured after that is going to be push-ups. I usually like to start my day with some push-ups or some sit-ups to just kind of get the blood flowing and get everything pumping as we go along. Then after that, the secret weapon, read my Bible. Every millionaire has some type of book that they're reading or some type of podcast that they're listening to in the morning to get their day started as best as they can and absorb some type of knowledge before even leaving the house. That's going to be mine. You guys find what book works for you and what you want to develop and kind of grow as, but make sure that it's not distracting you from the things that you have to do for the rest of the day, and that it's actually building up your knowledge instead of draining your knowledge. Then after that, I'm going to either shower or prep my bag so that I can get out of the house. Another thing that I found out that I want to do is start laying out my clothes and packing my meals the night before, so that way we can maximize each time of the day, right? So if I'm not worried about, having my bags and everything ready the night before, then that means I can be way more efficient in the morning and focus on the things that's going to get me up and get me going, okay? Now, from there, I work roughly around 8 to 10 hours, and it takes me roughly about 20 minutes to get to work. So I've decided between the 20 minutes that I'm going to get to work is going to be filled with either a podcast or some kind of motivational video that I can listen to while I'm driving to work. And now if we combine both of those, that's roughly about 40 to 50 minutes that I can fill in with extra stuff that I'm trying to gain knowledge or use to get the best bang for my buck. Now I'm going to do a video later this week or later next week talking about how to maximize whatever job you're at. A lot of times we miss a lot of money there just by either doing a couple of things differently or reaping some of the benefits that our jobs offer us. So that's another way to increase your time, but we're going to get into that on another video. Then after I finish work, I come home right away and I either do two things. I either go straight to work for 2 extra hours, and I like to call this my 2-hour $1 million window, because most of the times I'm filling that with things that are going to increase my wealth outside of work. So either if that's personal training or it's some of the other businesses that we're going to talk about next week, I'm usually filling those 2 hours with answering those emails or trying to get those things done. Exactly. Then I'll either eat before dinner, before that, or after that, depending on how tired I am or how late my lunch was at work. From there, I'll go straight to working out. I work out every night for about an hour or so. I used to do it in the morning, but with COVID happening and with the change in my schedule of moving earlier, I've moved it down to the later end of my day. And that really helps me be energetic and energized for the rest of the day if I have to finish some extra work or do a couple of things before bed. Then normally right after that, we'll go into a couple of downtime, which I either fill up with video games or I fill it with some kind of like reading or posting these videos or making adjustments to these videos with like editing and stuff like that. Then the final thing that I'll do before going to bed is I'll either shower the night before or read for at least 20 to 15 minutes. Now, that seems like a long day and a lot to fill in one day. But the whole point of here is we're going to attempt to do those things every day and try to maximize our time. So roughly trying to get into bed somewhere between 11 or 12 on most nights, just so that way we can have everything done. Now remember, when you're creating your schedule and getting yourself done, try your best to structure what's going to work best for you. Now that's how the routine we're going to stick with, and this is how it's going to look for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to adjust a couple of things. Obviously on the weekends, it's probably going to be adjusted and moved around a little bit, either for hanging out with friends or playing video games or some stuff that's going to be thrown into there, so that way I'm a little bit more relaxed and kind of a little bit more chill. Also, what I'm going to try to do is to present you guys with one movie that I've watched either that week, either retaining to business or having something to do with, building wealth or a kind of success story. And then the second one is also I'm going to show you guys the books that I'm going to be reading throughout these weeks, so that way you guys can try to grab some of those and try to be more knowledgeable about that as well. Now, here's the 3 tips that you guys need to take away, so that way you guys can maximize your routines and your daily schedules, okay? The first one is find what structure works best for you. If you're a chill person and you don't really want to be strict with times and dates and everything like that, try the more relaxed, laid-back schedule. Plan out what you're going to do the day before or the week before, but then let it flow as it does into your schedule, and don't be so strict about having things done at a specific time. There's still a definite structure there, and there's still something that you're going to be following, but it's not as strict. The second option is a very strict one, and you're going to have your dates and you're going to have your times that you have to do stuff and get it done. Find out which one works best for you. The second thing is maximize your day as much as you can. Throughout the day, we have a lot of access time to either go on our phone or talk to a friend or just do something that's a little bit more relaxed. Make sure that you're using that time efficiently, so that way the next day you're already ahead of the game and you're ready for whatever it brings. And the last thing is try to learn something every day about whatever your goals are. If that's being a millionaire, if that's being a professional baseball player or basketball player, learn something about what it is that you're trying to reach to every day, so that way you're continuously growing in knowledge. All right, let's get it. Thanks guys again for watching. Make sure you follow the Instagram, like and subscribe, and share this video, and smash the like button. Let's go.